Streatham versus the Solent Devils for the last few seasons, as I said on my garbled intro. It's been the game everyone wanted to see for the last few seasons. We get last season's final here in the semi-final at Alexandra Palace. Now, we talked a lot in the first game about how tight this ice pad is. Anthony Russell has very famously described Solent as like playing ice hockey in a foam box inside a paddling pool. And I think we can agree that that's going to favour the Solent Devils very much. Of course, Streatham have had experience of playing here in the past. They played the Haringey Huskies here in NIHL 1, NIHL 2 crossover cup a few seasons ago. Came away with the victory there. And this is a Streatham team at the moment that's riding a lot of momentum. They've won 4 out of their last 5 games coming into this. Big 14-0 win last weekend in the playoff quarterfinals over the MK Thunder. Solent Devils obviously with a runaway victory over 2 legs over the Invicta Dynamos. But it's as we said, the script doesn't favour what's on paper.
No, and the biggest thing could well be the net minding. Danny Milton has been absolutely incredible this year, while Solent have struggled for consistency after the time of Chico Cole. Danny Milton has been absolutely a beast this year, with a 947 save percentage and a 1.65 goals against, compared to Aaron Taylor's 0.910 but 3.32 goals against. And the puck is dropped and we are underway, and Ziggy Beasley will play the puck back into the Streatham end. Waller to Toombs. They will dump that down in, and immediately Streatham will find themselves in their own end on an icing call, something I've seen them do on a regular basis in the opening phase of the game every weekend. But they find themselves on the back foot early here, because we all know how well drilled Alex Murray has got in his Solent side when they've got an offensive face-off.
Oh, definitely. Kane Russell now. Russell will skate it into the corner. He'll play it out to the boards. Shot comes in from the boards, but it's wide. Bart Pitts will try and chase it, but Preston Toombs will play it out. Alex Murray, traditionally a forward Alex Murray, but this year I have noticed him playing on forward D a lot, as Ziggy Beasley collects the turnover, but it's forced clear, and now Russell will get it out of the zone. He's got Pitts in support, opts to shoot himself. And Brandon Miles, sporting a lovely playoff moustache, by the way.
Facial hair for the playoffs is like an unspoken rule, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've grown mine as well.
I unfortunately haven't grown mine out. I have a funeral in a week's time, so I had to unfortunately not go out of respect to my grandmother, who hated when I had facial hair. But I remember moving from the macabre into the humorous, hopefully. I remember when the Basingstoke Tyson in 2013 all turned up with pink mohawks and moustaches at Coventry we played. I believe all courtesy of Kurt Reynolds of the Bison, that was.
Lovely play from Osmond there with the stick between the legs.
Now Skokan, bounce it is off the boards, but it's intercepted by Wild. Wild will opt to shoot, fires it high and wide, and Benny Newman will play it out. Brandon Miles will try and force it through.
He's got a good shot, Mason Wild, for a D-man. He can rattle one in from distance.
Yes, and Clark will now chase down the loose puck in the Devil's end.
I think Solent were expecting the icing call to come there. It didn't come.
Shot from the point by, I believe that was James. Yes, that was James Warman. Bit of a back and forth start here, I think, then.
Yeah, good solid one from both teams. Neither look particularly nervous. They're looking to get the puck on the sticks early, get it tape to tape and try and take control.
Well, both sides know what each other's about. They've played each other 4 times this year. They played each other just 2 weeks ago, actually. As there's a collision there as Forsyth and Pitchley both go for the puck.
Interesting to see that Streatham have shut Solent out both times on your home ice.
They have indeed. We have 2 shutouts against the Devils on home ice. There's JJ Pitchley, who has been
early in the season, a lot of people questioned what he was bringing to the team, but mainly since that suspension for the incident involving the Invicta Dynamos, he has just been on a tear since then.
Yeah, it's been incredibly consistent since then. You've had a really good spread of the points across the Streatham roster.
Yeah.
No one stood up and took 40, 30 points on their own.
Poor clearance by Kane Russell. Russell scores!
Ironically, you can see the Chelmsford fans celebrating the goal for Solent. Heavy rivalry in the arena, but what a turnover there as Kane Russell picks it up. I know they weren't 100% sure he was going to make this game because he had a concussion problem a week or so ago, but that's a cracking finish from the young man.
It doesn't look like he's feeling the effects there. Perfect interception, poor clearance by Streatham, and it's intercepted and roofed into the net, top of the net by Kane Russell. And the shocks today just keep coming as Streatham go 1-0 down to the Solent Devils.
It's very early yet though, Chris.
Very early indeed, and my friend Joe Scutts, and I know for a fact Joe Scutts and many of the Solent contingents are watching at home right now, and they're all probably celebrating in their living room.
I must say, I'm with Solent on this one. They've been given icing. There was definitely a touch in the neutral zone here from Alex Cole. And our officials, Solovov from the Kraken and Davis, have called icing.
Now Beasley will wait. McCormick drops the Kraken, drops the puck, and it's pulled back.
Well, considering we were just talking about how Streatham has shut Solent out, that's quite an incredible start.
Commentator's curse strikes again. Beasley back to Skokan. Skokan's attempt padded to the corner by Taylor. Brittle will try and wing it round to find Ryan Watt, but he can't get there, and now Solent will look to break as Coleman runs over Warman. It's strange because normally it's James Warman that's the one doing the running over players, but he recovers the puck, plays it up. Ziggy Beasley tries to get there, but he can't, and Alex Murray will play it from the corner. Whoa. Big hit there by, again that's Warman who's pinched down, playing more in a forward role right now.
The loop from Liam Coleman, that's not going anywhere.
Warman dumps in, and Taylor will play it to the corner. Beasley again.
Diggy Beasley has been such an incredible player for Streatham this year. Not only has he been putting up points, the top point scorer across the league, but just his general all-round gameplay and his connection with Ryan Watt is yielding an awful lot of points for Streatham.
He's very much like I described him once as like a terrier without a bone, in that if he doesn't have the puck, he's chasing everyone to get it, and if he does have the puck, he's chasing around everywhere trying to do something with it. He's such a great high energy player, but this year he's really stepped up, and it's I at one point described him as being like he was doing his Vanya Antonov impression at one point this year.
The two very firm friends, of course.
They are. Beasley a very big part in Antonov coming to Streatham a few seasons ago. Lane plays it to the corner, but nothing can be done with it. Lane still. Streatham will get the change. Waller heading to the blue line. Burnett fires it through traffic, and Streatham miss an open cage. Nobody could get a stick to the puck as there's a big hit.
Brandon Miles coming to the bench with a bit of an issue. Streatham forcing this pressure, trying to keep Solent exactly where they want them. Bit of a bottleneck on the bench at Solent, didn't get out quite as quick as they would have liked.
Put it on net, and it's blocked by Taylor to the corner. Pixley takes it into the corner. Pixley puts it in front of net. And there wasn't a Streatham stick there to get to it. So Beasley will take it towards the net. He's closed out there. He's out there right.
Yeah, Cooper, of course, one of two Solent players playing for the last time this weekend. Him and Drew Campbell will be retiring.
And there's
incredible coverage by Taylor.
He's been stretched and moved in every direction so far, and now here's Benny Newman. Forced wide. Newman shoots it straight into the glove of Taylor. Taylor's being very tested here right now.
And he's keeping his concentration at all times as well, which is important, because a couple of times they've dumped one in from long distance, which doesn't look a particularly challenging one, but it's on target. Not concentrating. One could end up sleeping through.
It looks like Streatham peppering the net a little bit. Haven't really seen them do much this year. Normally they're very selective with what they do.
Got a slight audio problem there again. Mark Pitts is through.
Oh! And Russell there with another attempt, which this time block it away into the corner as Hops gets into a battle for it in the corner. Russell come loose, back to Alex Murray at the blue line. Played in, Russell will chase Hops, and he manages to get it clear, and that should be an icing, and it is an icing call as Cole was chasing it down.
Yeah, first 7 minutes, I tell you, it's the sort of tie that we were expecting. Cut and thrust, both teams want to go for it. Obviously the Solent Devils with that early goal really paving the way for them now.
Well, sometimes all you need to do is get that early goal, get that early momentum, and then try and shut the rest of the game down. But I wouldn't really recommend the idea of trying to shut down a 1-0 lead, especially against this Streatham side.
Absolutely not, but Kane Russell looks in the mood tonight. This is where Solent are really impressive. When they get you into your defensive zone, they can really, really pin you in.
Callum Burnett and Alex Murray getting into it a bit there at the blue line as they collided. Turn over to Ely Newman. Ely Newman opts to go with Brandon Miles. Miles can't get it around Murray, and it will be intercepted, and it's almost cleared as far as the blue line. Jared Lane plays it in. Devils will look to break here. Peacock trying to take it up the middle. It comes loose and it's dumped in by Sutton. Milton will collect.
Danny Milton's such a clever goalkeeper when he does come out of his crease, especially to go behind his net. He knows exactly where to and where not to put the puck.
Which is one of the reasons I don't get rather panicked because I have a tendency to get panicked when I see netminders leave their net. And now JJ Pitchley will play it in, but it's turned over. Turned over again. Sorry, that's Josh Martin. Martin will dump it in. And now Osman will look to take it out. Osman still. Osman and Hutchison. Hutchison tried to get on it, but he was surrounded by Streatham defenders.
Steve Osman's had a great season for Solent. Ended up with their top point scorer with 22 goals and 23 assists. I think he scored 4 in one game as well at Oxford. He's had a really, really good season.
He's on that list of players who I would, if it wasn't for the geography of British ice hockey, I'd love to see him in the Streatham shirt, I'm not going to lie. Obviously, single-handedly has been involved in the 2 craziest finishes in NIHL 1 semi-finals over the last 2 years at these playoff weekends. Obviously, the first year, the insane last 2 minutes between Chelmsford Chieftains and Bristol Pitbulls when they were in the league, and then last year the insane finish to Solent versus Invicta. Steve Osman was a key part of both of those games.
And as I think when you were having audio difficulties, I said in the build-up that this being a replay of last year's final, Solent will know, unfortunately, they just didn't really turn up in that final. And a miscommunication after 20 seconds left them a goal down.
And now here is Ziggy Beasley, cuts in, Ziggy Beasley gets a shot, Taylor gets the pad down and stops it, and now Pitts will break the other way. Pitts tries to cut inside, but he's closed out. Skokan forcing the puck wide.
But they've certainly turned up today.
And there is a very high hit there on the back of the head of Russell by Skokan. And now Jordan Gregory will be out of position there, Jordan Gregory.
That was well played there by Jordan Gregory to stop the puck going past him.
And the puck will be played in, and that should be icing. Mark Pitts was hovering at the blue line, waiting, I think, to try and get on the end of that, but just couldn't be directed towards him. So the play will go back down the other end, back to the Solent zone.
They really have been impressive this year, Solent, without pulling up too many trees. They finished a bit lower than I would have expected them to. But they've struggled to get the consistency going with the same players week in, week out.
Jared Lane there, straight off the face-off, but it's wide and into the safety glass. Now,
of course, we know the consistency monster that is Streatham Redhawks.
Of course, Streatham know how to put a run of games together, but it's putting one really perfect game together here. As Jared Lane now will skate it in. Lane will use his speed, cuts to the behind the net, back to the blue line to Waller. Waller sends it in. And it's straight into the chest of Taylor, and there's some afters.
Brandon Miles is in the mood as well. He is really in the mood.
Brandon Miles and Steve Osman having a bit of
a face-off up here, I think.
Having a disagreement there that sees Osman's bucket come flying off. And it looks like, yes, the face-off is going to take place outside the Solent zone. Be taken by Ben Painter,
who himself has put some points up this season for Streatham.
And we appear to be awaiting whoever's going to take it for Solent. Drew Campbell,
the oldest player in the NIHL structure.
47 years young.
Scored an incredible goal in the semi-final from the floor where he reversed the puck past Owen Ryder. You can almost see Owen Ryder's eyes rolling in the back of his head as he saw it go in.
Big hit into the corner as the puck is put on the net by JJ Pitchley. And now Cooper will look to play it out. Sutton puts it across the face of the net, but there is nobody there in a Solent jersey to get to it. Pitchley. Martin will skate it out to the boards. Pitchley collects. Martin and one of the Devils players have gone down in a heap, and it's Perella Fox. Martin and Perella Fox have gone into the corner, and Martin has come out, but Perella Fox is down.
He did suffer a facial injury in the semi-final when he was caught by a loose puck in the warm-ups as well.
And he does look like he's favouring his face at the moment. He is wearing a full face guard, I would assume, as a part of that, but he has headed back to the bench.
Few words being had between JJ Pitchley and the official as he skated back to the bench.
If there is a weakness to JJ Pitchley's play that I have noticed this year, is he does tend to get a bit chin waggy with the officials when he probably shouldn't.
The certainties of death, taxes, and JJ Pitchley chirping the officials.
Yep. Puck is played in, and the Devils will look to find a way to break out here. Nekro Savicius, Forsyth.
Well done, Chris.
Yeah.
probably one of the hardest names to pronounce in NIHL 1 South. As now Luke Brittle gets it to Beasley. Beasley puts it on net. Taylor gloves it.
That's a great stop, getting his glove up right by his face.
Taylor's really getting dialed in here.
Of course, that's the sort of the flip side of peppering a goalkeeper is, yes, you're having lots of chances, but then he's getting his eye in.
Yeah.
And he can follow that puck everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, the longer Taylor makes saves off these routine chances, the more it's going to take something special for Streatham to get that first goal. Skokan plays it in and it heads to the corner. Beasley will chase it in, but he's closed out. I believe Luke Brittle has it, plays it around the boards. Ryan Watt back to Skokan at the point. Skokan fires it in, but it's wide. And it'll be cleared down ice by the Devils. Warman intercepts and dumps it back in. Alex Murray now will restart the play. Plays it through. Puck did make contact on the way through there, so there would have been no icing call. Now, Brittle again. Sorry, Jared Lane. Ely Newman. Ben Ely Newman cuts to the middle. Ely Newman shoots. And Taylor with an incredible diving save.
That was almost reminiscent of what we saw from Hallam Wilson in the previous game as he'd come down the right, cut across for that left-sided shot. But Taylor, as you say, he just come out and smothered it.
And Jared Lane at the moment is having to be separated from, I believe that's, from Osman. A little bit of a disagreement off the play, but that is something Ben Newman does so well and so dangerously, is that cut down the outside, cut across the middle, and then if the goalie's not in the right position, he can just roof it, which is what he was trying to do there. He will now step up and take the face-off for Streatham against Osman. Puck is played back down behind the Solent net. Osman loses his stick. Ely Newman comes away with the puck, but he's being held in there by Wild. Puck comes in. It's loose in front. Miles with an opportunity. It's still loose, but Wild manages to clear it, but only as far as the blue line where it's intercepted. And
we're getting a thrown pass from Miles there.
Yeah.
He did catch it, but there was direction on the release.
There was. I'm not going to... One thing I will never try to be is a rose-tinted Streatham fan.
But so far, Solent are soaking up what Streatham have got to offer.
Yeah, but Ben Painter here now trying to break through on his own, but can't. Cloutman will clear it, but it only gets as far as the blue line. Now Toombs. Toombs tried to play it up. I think that's a high stick there because Harvey Briggs' stick made contact with it. And we are going to see the face-off take place at centre ice. Puck is dropped, and Painter will try and get through as Campbell tried to stop him, but the puck makes its way all the way down to Taylor, who covers it up. And well, Solent are back where they started just a few minutes ago. They're back in their own end.
No risks from Taylor though. Just get your hand down on the puck and then deal with the defensive face-off rather than trying to risk.
But the issue here is though you don't want to keep risking these offensive face-offs in your own zone. Puck though eventually is played out, will be collected by Toombs. He gives it to Waller. Briggs out on the wing. Briggs now will try to make for the cut-up, but it's intercepted. Well, poke checked off him by Coleman. And then Painter will dump it in.
I think Harvey Briggs has been a good signing for Streatham this year. When he's been available, he really has put some good performances in. He's
been so much better than... because we had him 2 seasons ago, and he was an all right player. Obviously we had him and Malik Martelli, and unfortunately he was kind of in the shadow of Malik Martelli when it came to the new kids that had come into the roster. Obviously ended up going to Romford mid-season, and I think really that's been the making of him, because he had 2 really good, reasonably good seasons with them there,
And then as the puck has been turned over, opportunity there for the
net
Devils.
is off. Liam Coleman found himself in exactly where Kane Russell found himself in the first few minutes, but he was unable to get it past Milton.
And I think we have a delay of game penalty against Streatham here for moving the net. Josh Martin will go to the box.
This is where we see what Solent are really made of. We've said it over and over again. They're incredibly well drilled on the power play.
Yeah. But of course, I'm looking for my ever trusty, reliable stat sheet. And of course, for Streatham this year, the penalty kill has been 91.09%. Ben Painter said defence wins championships to me a while back. And a big part of that is penalty kill. As the shot comes in from the point by and now we've got a few afters with Ryan Watt.
I think this is exactly what Solent were hoping for. If they can keep it tight for the first period, maybe into the second, if Streatham players start to lose their head slightly, that is when they can really take control on that smaller pad.
This is one of the problems with the double-edged swords of the Streatham roster. Is there's a lot of guys who their buttons can be pushed, and what is what among them. I mean, he said to me in an interview, the post-game interview, both teams, they don't like each other. The fans don't like each other. This is a real rivalry in British ice hockey.
Well, they've been the top two really in the league for the past few years.
Yeah.
Just Chelmsford and Slough improving this year to really give Streatham a challenge.
Yeah. As Sutton tries to force it from the net, from the corner, but Streatham will get it clear and we'll look to get the fresh line on.
And our clock appears to be working.
Ploutman now leaves it. Murray will begin the build from behind the net. Pitts down the wing. Lane will look to intercept. And Beasley will intercept and play it out. And Lane will chase it. Taylor collects, plays it out to Murray. Murray will play it in. I believe that's Kane Russell. It is Kane Russell. Murray, though, opts to shoot himself. Danny Milton gets the pads down and it's directed towards the corner. Murray at the point. Russell down low, though.
Yeah, this is where their setup is so impressive when you look across that offensive period.
Russell looking to go from the tight angle at the line, but it comes out and over the blue line and the Devils will have to reset. Now Coleman. I'm going to continuously Freudian slip and get those two mixed up.
I think
as Benny Lee Newman goes down.
There was certainly a sound of sticks clashing.
There was. And right now, Mark Pitts is having to be separated from people. Our referee, Mr. Solihovs, is in conference with his linesman to figure out what happened.
Just 14 seconds remaining of the power play that Solent were on. They could find themselves.
And now Alex Murray and Brandon Miles having words. Tempers fraying early here. I mean, the good news is at least from all this, Benny Lee Newman, the player who went down, is skating around, so hopefully he should be okay. Doesn't.
Going to have another penalty.
Solihovs is heading to the bench. Kneeing penalty against the Devils.
So we're 4-on-4 for 14 seconds.
And then a Streatham power play. Mark Pitts, the offender, has gone to the box. While the Streatham penalty kill has been quite effective this year at 91.09%, its power play has only managed about 29.23% on conversions.
But the problem is that with having this 4-on-4 on this smaller ice, this could be where Streatham work their space.
This is basically like slightly worse than 3-on-3 overtime. But when we get into it, after these 14 or so seconds, as the chance flies in and goes wide, Luke Brittle with it loose in front.
Brittle almost volley kicks it in there.
And that wouldn't have counted if he had managed to volley kick it in. As Streatham return to full strength. Puck is cleared down the ice, but of course, because it's a power play penalty kill situation, no icing. But yes, Solent's penalty kill this year has managed a 76% kill. As Jared Lane, I think, looked for the shot there, but fans on it. Lane, though, still has possession. Brittle in the corner. Brittle's looking for that player in space. Watt. Ely Newman. Brittle. Watt at the point. Watt will wind up. Shoot, and it's gloved by Taylor. And I think Watt might have been looking for a repeat of what happened a few weekends ago when he scored one almost similar to that situation against the Devils in the 4-0 win in Streatham.
Well, you're not going to get anything off of Taylor at the moment. As we said earlier, he's so dialed in, he's keeping hold of everything, and it seems to be covering that entire goal.
It's going to take a garbage goal in front of the net, I think, at this point.
That's what playoffs is all about.
Yeah.
There's still no one's really taking control of the game yet. It's still quite scrappy, but in a really entertaining way. It's not like it's poor play. All the players very good, but neither team can really get a grip on the game.
That's good playoff hockey as Ryan Watt now collects at the point. Brittle. Beasley now behind the net down low. Beasley skates it up. Watt fires it in. Loose puck. Beasley and Brittle with two chances. There's a chance there from Ely Newman that sails wide. And it'll be played out. Clearance. Coleman now. Coleman has beaten Ryan Watt to it. Coleman shoots, pad save by Danny Milton.
Alex Murray's lost his bucket. He's gone back to the desk to the bench with no bucket on.
And now Martin. Puck played in.
Oh, a little stick from Martin on Taylor as he covered the puck. Well,
I just realised Martin wasn't involved in that.
They haven't really done too well on short-handed goals this year, Solent, but they very nearly got one there.
Very nearly got one there. Yeah, I'll be honest, that's normally Stratham's trick. Normally Streatham are the ones on the PK that get the sneaky poke away on a charge. But Ben Painter now out there, and Josh Martin is now out there. Painter back to the point to, I believe that's Skokan. Skokan's chance. Whoa! And the clearance almost beheads a member of the Solent roster.
Ryan Sutton nearly takes the head off of Jockey, the equipment manager there.
Puck comes back to Waller. Waller fires it in. Painter. Skokan fires it high and over. There's 8 seconds left in the Pitts penalty.
Yeah, Danny Milton taps the ice to let his D-men know that someone's coming. That's
Josh
out.
Martin looks offside, but Josh Martin has been allowed to play on as a huge hit on Corella Fox there. And Martin takes one. I think the puck hit Martin and then it's come loose and Taylor's dived on it.
Showing incredible bravery there, Taylor, literally diving in where the sharp stuff is.
All right. Right now, there's a lot of rubber coming his way at the moment, and he's doing everything he can to try and keep the scoreline tilted in their favour.
Yeah, you can see from this opening period that we've had, the Solent Devils are really prepared to dogfight this one out.
Based on the previous showings I've seen between Solent and Streatham this year, that's really their main way to get a victory here, because unfortunately, especially in the games against us in Streatham at the High Road, they haven't really looked like they've had anything in those games to counter us, but they definitely seem to have something here. Brandon Miles battling for the puck behind the net, and he's going to come away with it. Miles now tripped. No call on the play, however, and instead he should really be focusing on getting up as Coleman fires, and it dings off of Milton's mask, and now it's an open net. And Alex Murray almost made it 2-0 there. Danny Milton managing to get there as Jordan Gregory now in a puck battle in the corner with Mark Pitts.
Their breakouts are so incredibly well rehearsed. They knew exactly where everyone was going to be.
Yeah. And now Miles. Taylor pads that behind. Miles at the half boards here. Miles fires it wide. It'll only make it as far as Skokan. Murray now in the corner. Will try and play it out, but it's...
Yeah.
Well,
Bennett was unlucky there, I think.
Well, if Callum Bennett was at the NFL Combine, that might get him a high draft choice, but right here, all it'll get him is a land pass.
I mean, as we all know, the players like to keep fit outside of hockey training, but none more so than Callum Bennett.
Yeah.
The man is literally chiselled out of granite. And not bad looking either.
He's been a brilliant pickup this past season. Has been very solid on the back end and has been absolute. Well, has come into his
points
own,
up for a team, man.
Yeah, he puts up points. That's what I was trying to get my words around to say. As Brittle puts it to the corner for Ryan Watt.
Yeah, he was the first player that we found out wasn't coming back to Chelmsford last year, and Chelmsford's fans were upset to see him not come back.
And Waller puts it on net as the buzzer goes. Ryan Watt, meanwhile, is in the corner with a member of the Devils roster, but they separate and head away. So the period ends. Streatham 0, Solent 1. Very much, as we said, you know, what's on paper doesn't matter, and it's very much not what was on paper here at the moment.
No, and you can't say that the Devils don't deserve that lead. They've certainly been valued for it. They could well have added to it. Everything that Streatham have thrown at Taylor has been pretty easy work for him.
I mean, one of the questions that I saw posed before this game was, can Taylor put in the kind of performance that we used to see Chico Cole put in against Streatham? Because the Chico Cole used to just come into Streatham some nights, stand on his head, and there was nothing you could do about it. And right now, Taylor is doing his best at that right now. He's stood on his head for the whole period. But I mean, Kane Russell, that was such a well-worked turnover. Brilliant foresight from the young man to basically put himself where he thought that puck was going to go, get the turnover, and then just roof it on Danny Milton.
And aside from that goal, Milton has been in sparkling form as well, stopping everything else that's come at him. And as we said, with that intelligent play, adding it off to the side, sticking it around the back of the goal, so that Streatham can get right back on it and try and attack Solent.
That's the thing ultimately about Danny Milton is Danny Milton has been just in beast mode this entire season for Streatham. Something like a 1.65 goals against average. He only allows nearly 1.5 goals a game. Yeah. So the question here is has he allowed the one goal that he will allow for the entire game, and is he now going to shut it down?
I mean, he's almost at 25% shutout across the entire season.
He has.
Astonishing.
He has at least 5 of them in league play.
5 in league, 9 in total.
9 in total.
And over the season of what is virtually 40 games. That's absolutely incredible.
That's incredible. But it is also it's Dee's responsibility as well. The Streatham D. I like to think that after that 4-0 loss to Solway, I think Ben came away with the realisation that there's no point in having an offence that is a juggernaut that scores 15 goals if the opposition score 16 and you can't stop them. And even worse, there's no point in having an offence that scores a defence that can stop one, or your opponent can score one and then shut you down completely. And I think that's why this year he's built this roster geared more towards the back end than the front end, which is why the goal scoring hasn't been as high this year as it has been for us in other seasons.
Do you think that has been a miss, though, a player like a Vanya Antonov or a Danny Ingoldsby that can get you those 30, 40 points? Well,
Danny's been out injured for most of the season, so it's been unfortunate. Same, unfortunately, with Josh Newman. He got hurt during the controversy with the Invicta incident. So I think we're definitely missing Danny Ingoldsby. We're definitely missing Josh Newman. But that said, Luke Brittle Ziggy Beasley have stepped up and basically kind of fill the void that Vanya Antonov left behind, because neither of them are direct replacements of Vanya Antonov, but they put up the same level of points that Vanya is capable of.
Yeah, spreading it across the roster as well, especially, and spreading it through the lines.
Yes.
That's real compliment to the way that Ben Painter set it all up and the way that he's got them playing. For Solent, of course, I mean, they've obviously had Steve Osman, who's put up 55 points on his own. But Liam Coleman is hitting form just at the right time. His last few games in the league, it's been astonishing, netting, I think, 12 goals in the last 4 games of the season.
He's definitely been astonishing. There are great things to come from some very good young players down in Solent. It's just, I think Alex Murray has to hope that he can add some additional pieces to those elements to try and get them back into the title fight next year.
And possibly an omen as well, as we were talking about Steve Osman. Liam Coleman was also in that Bristol side in the Chelmsford semi-final, and then of course in the Solent side got the winning goal, I believe, actually in overtime against Invicta last year in the semi-final.
Well, as we said earlier, we've seen that the second semi-final produces some crazy stuff. Second semi-final, we're at the intermission now, so we shall see what crazy stuff the second period brings us. We'll see you guys in about 10-15 minutes. Okay, everybody, and welcome back for the second period of semi-final 1 here in the Britain Conference. If you've only just joined us, it ended Streatham 0, Solent 1 at the end of the first period. Kane Russell with a beautiful wrist shot sailing over the top of Danny Milton in the early phases of play. However, the rest of the period, Streatham peppering Aaron Taylor's net, trying to force an equaliser, but not really being successful in that endeavour.
And if anything, just keeping the lad more dialed in.
Yeah, it's a strange thing, but the more you test the netminder, the more he gets dialed in.
Yeah, the better he gets. Absolutely better he gets. Saw a little bit of tempers flaring in that period as well. For the most part, they're keeping it under wraps. But as we said earlier, if Solent start to disturb their rhythm, the Streatham lads could easily lose their heads.
Yeah.
And in all fairness, that's what Solent do best.
That is what Solent do best. It's been the way that they have beaten Streatham in the past, is to upset things. As Cole will play it through, and Mark Pitts takes a bit of a contact there from Sam Waller. As now Ziggy Beasley will break down the wing. Holds up, looks for the option but can't find one. Brittle battles for the puck behind the net. Alex Murray, though, will come
very wet after the period ice cut. Very wet.
Yes, well, we wondered how this rink was going to hold up for 4 games over the course of today. But it is a bit of a. It really does kind of mirror what Anthony Russell has said about playing against Solent. It's like playing in a foam box in a paddling pool.
Yeah, it's definitely more paddling pool at the moment.
Yeah. Solent will got to break Kane Russell up the middle.
Oh, Kane Russell!
Goal number 2 of the game. Almost a carbon copy of his first goal. Straight up the middle, roofs it past Danny Milton, and Streatham are down 2-0.
Absolutely out of nothing for the Solent Devils. You could see at the start of the period, Streatham tried to put the forecheck on. They tried to press them back, but that breakdown in the neutral zone, I think we've missed the replay. As it came to Kane Russell, what a finish, absolutely roofed it.
Proving why he is one of the top prospects out of that Solent system at the moment. Beautiful finish there from Kane Russell.
Well, a day of upsets so far. Do we have another one on the cards?
Don't forget though, it's the second semi-final. That always leads to a bit of a crazy finish. And the Streatham fan in me kind of has to hope for that right now.
Peacock's out through the middle. Ooh.
Skokan.
Something Streatham have done quite well, particularly this year as well as others. They do never panic when they go goals down. We've seen them at Chelmsford, we've seen them at Slough. 1 down, 2 down. They never panic, and somehow they do always come back and sneak it out.
They never panic. They've always got a plan, and they just, as Ben Painter always says, we stick to the game plan and we just buy into it. However, at the moment, it doesn't look like many of the Streatham boys are buying into the plan. Jared Lane now. He lays it off for Brandon Miles. Miles will try and skate it down the boards. Miles now, wrapped behind the net. Could have gone for the wraparound, but opted not to. Puts it on the net. Jared Lane hacks at it. It's back out to the point. Fired wide, and contact there in front of the net with Miles and Mason Wild.
Such an underrated player, Brandon Miles. Everyone kind of just thinks he's a bit of a thug, bit of a goon, but he's actually a technically extremely good hockey player.
He's a very good hockey player, although he has had a bit of a quiet season here. As Streatham catch Solent on a bad change. Ely Newman fires it in, and it's padded wide by Taylor.
Well, we're going to have to keep saying it, how important these line changes are. You've got to get it right.
Tight ring like this now as Martin goes for the wraparound, and play is stopped.
The net is off, I think.
Frantic session of play there from the Redhawks. Almost catching Solent napping there on that changeover, but the Devils able to get men back quite quickly there.
Any millisecond of concentration, though, you know that Alex Murray's going to be on his boys like white on ice.
Like white on ice. Now Nekrosevicius, a hit attempt by Josh Martin there, but it doesn't come off. Painter out to the boards. Pitchley now. Pitchley's got Martin in support. Pitchley takes it to the net. Pitchley tried to lay it up for Ben Painter, but Painter can't get contact. Martin now with Nekrosevicius in attendance. Painter back to the point. Shot comes in from Gregory.
So much traffic there in front of the net.
Campbell, I think that's what Streatham are going to have to do. They need to generate that traffic on the net to try and get one past Taylor. Brittle lays it up to Pitchley. Stuck down here by the Streatham bench. Forsyth will look to try and break with it. Puck's being turned over a lot here in the neutral zone, but eventually Streatham come away with the possession. Brittle makes contact with it as it's played in, so there'll be no icing. Nekrosevicius wings it to Forsyth. Watt now at the high section. Watt fires it in. That came off Taylor's mask, I believe. Waller from the point, and Ziggy Beasley takes that full in the chest.
Well, I've heard from Jordan Lauday this year when he appeared on Zero Pucks Given. Ziggy Beasley is the person, if he gets in front of the net, he can tip it in from anywhere.
Oh yeah, it's a special, one of the specialty plays that Streatham like to do is these tipping attempts. They try a lot of them throughout the course of a game. They do work on them. Of course, there was the very famous 21 seconds to go tip-in that Streatham scored again, and that is scoring against Sam Waller.
Well, we're going to see another power play, an interference penalty there for Waller.
I thought that was boarding, not interference, but Sam Waller either way will go to the box for 2 minutes.
I mean, it's the sort of thing that you can kind of see anywhere on the ice, and it doesn't always get a call for either boarding or interference. Some refs will let that sort of thing go.
I mean, I must admit, I've been watching hockey for 15 years, and I really do struggle at times to figure out what interference penalties sometimes are. Played back to Cole. He'll try and get things set up. He's got Murray in his support there. Murray will skate it back down behind the Solent red goal line. Jared Lane on the high forecheck there, but Mark Pitts will take it in. Pitts plays it to the corner, but Warman's there. Warman only gets it as far as Cole though.
This doesn't look like your normal Solent power play setup.
No, Alex Murray obviously trying something a little different here. Puck's dumped out by Streatham and it will go the length of the ice, and Taylor will play it to the corner for Murray. Try and get set up. Painter's playing the forecheck. Osman now. Osman on the wing. Osman played it to Murray, whose shot kind of didn't really connect properly there, that one.
So far, just now, a minute and 15 seconds into this power play, it's been incredibly well defended by Streatham.
Martin now collects the turnover. Martin will skate it in. Martin over the blue line. Martin shoots, and it's high and wide. Ben Painter will battle for the puck here at the half boards, but Sutton will get away with it. Sutton winds up, fires. And
that's such a good save from Danny Milton.
Yeah.
To get that power, get it behind the net and not out into the area where there could be a Solent player waiting, looking for a tap-in.
Preston Toombs tries to clear it, but only gets it as far as Wild. Osman now. Osman puts it into the middle, and Cloutman will fire. And there's a Streatham player. Josh Martin is down in the slot area. Calls for a penalty from the Streatham fans, but I didn't see it myself. As Sam Waller's penalty is killed, and Waller will look for the breakaway.
That from Cloutman was absolutely incredible to stop that puck on the blue line, because that's the perfect play, that when you get off the power play and the player comes out of the box and you get the puck up there at the same time, it's almost like having an extra man on the ice. And Cloutman did incredibly well to block that on the blue line.
Something every penalty kill looks for is where is their guy coming out of the box and when. And really, that's really good scouting there from Cloutman to have it figured out that that's probably what Streatham were going to try. So we return to 5-on-5 action here, but it's face-off in the Streatham end. Campbell going against Easley. Morella Fox now will play that in, and Danny Milton will come out to play the puck. Burnett plays it behind him. Streatham trying to play it up the boards. That's offside. Played back to Burnett. And again.
Oh, that's a strange ricochet off the boards from Burnett.
That's a strange, it's one of those weird bounces that pucks sometimes take. Ziggy Beasley now. Beasley in front, Beasley in the slot. And that's good blocking there by Perella Fox. He knew if he gave Ziggy Beasley that space, he probably could have converted that. Gives it to Pitts. Pitts down behind the net. Beasley tries to get in there, but Kane Russell now in the corner. Russell puts it into the slot area, but nobody can get to it, and it will go all the way back down for Alex Murray to try and reset the play. Kane Russell looking for a breakaway opportunity there, but he's called offside.
Solent have made it clear that they're very prepared to go physically toe-to-toe with Streatham today. They will not be bullied off the park.
That's something you really have to do with Streatham. You cannot let Streatham bully you and get the edge in the physical play area. It's something Streatham have specialised in for the last 2 seasons, is that physical edge. Face off now in this Devil's zone. It's back to Toombs. Toombs puts it on net straight into the glove of Taylor.
He took that really well. He almost seemed to be skating in one direction and got the glove out in the other direction and kept hold of the puck well.
Face off now again in the Devil's end. Better win the face off. It's back. Shot immediately off the face off. Puck played back into the front of net. Brandon Miles is there. Benny Lee Newman tries to play it round, but Coleman will get to it. Coleman is rocked by a big hit. And Gresham now, play it out. Miles with another big hit. Ely Newman stops up. Ely Newman tries to find Miles in the slot, but it finds the heel of the skate instead of the heel of the stick. It's played back to the blue line. Russell now will look to break. He'll play it in. Toombs with Pitts in attendance. Osman. Miles now again. Moving forward. Miles plays it into the corner. Lane will go in there looking for a battle with Wild. Miles still. Miles has been out there for a very long time now at this point.
Streatham are doing that very well when they get the puck in the corner, getting a 2-on-1.
Peacock looking for a shot, but gets hammered by James Warman. Are we going to get a...
It looked like a pretty clean mid-ice here.
Sure. I think it's just the puck made contact with the netting.
crowd really starting to fill up in here as well now. I think towards the end of this game and into the Phantoms versus Huskies game, we're going to have a rocking full house.
Very, very likely. I mean, we are at Ali Pali. That is the home of the Haringey Huskies. Would expect a very large partisan crowd. JJ Pitchley lays it off to Painter, who plays it in, and it's gone into orbit. So we will see a face-off in the Solent zone.
Big deflection on that shot from Painter. He's not been able to sort of play his normal game today, where he's not being the starter of the plays. He's almost being marked out of the game.
Double shifting at the moment. Normally see him out there with Pitchley and Josh Martin as it goes through the legs of Pitchley in front of the net. And now Sutton will dump it in, and Harvey Briggs will have to come back and play defenseman for the net.
That was a loss of footing or a little late hit from
Pitchley now to Painter. Painter to Pitchley! Trying for some kind of a tip attempt play there, I think, but they couldn't really get it to work. Hops.
There's a stick as well, just laying in the offensive zone.
Pitchley now. Pitchley, he's got men in he's got defenders in attendance. Necrosavicius just stonewalls Briggs, and then Burnett.
In fairness, Harvey Briggs, he took that well.
He's been the subject of a few of those hits this year. He's learned how to take them, has Harvey Briggs.
And in all fair, I mean, Chris Necrosavicius is an absolute monster. And here he goes.
Long range play in, and bit of a strange moment there as now Necrosavicius. It's poked up to Pitchley. Beasley.
This is where Streatham need to capitalise. Solent are making uncharacteristic mistakes indeed at the moment.
And JJ Pitchley draws a penalty, charging the call, and he protests it, but I'm sorry, that's definitely a penalty in my opinion.
Yeah, much to the dismay of the Streatham fans to our left and in front of us, but there was definitely something not quite right with that collision over on the far side.
So Streatham will go back on the penalty. This is the big weakness that the biggest weakness that this Streatham roster really has, is the fact that they will get themselves into penalty trouble time and time again when they really do not need to.
Right, and as we've said, I mean, they've not particularly shown it yet today, but against the team as well set up as Solent Devils, that can spell trouble for you.
And Mr. McCracken will draw Beasley and hits him. Mason Puppy's dropped. Coleman.
Oh, that's a great save.
Coleman just sails high and wide. Up down into the corner now. Murray at the point.
Ooh.
Almost slides out over the line.
The Kraken was on the spot.
Coleman on his own in space. Mark Pitts.
Oh.
Mark Pitts almost makes it 3-0, but Danny Milton somehow gets the pad there.
Not
Coleman
quite sure
again.
how Mark Pitts has missed that.
I think it was a combination of just space and ability to move. Try and squeeze that pass, and obviously Danny Milton. There was a Streatham jersey in attendance.
And that's an incredibly tight call as well on the offside as Alex Murray brought the puck out on the blue line. That looked incredibly tight, but McCracken was right on the spot.
Tight. And our lunch has arrived.
I can't lie, I was expecting some chips for that.
Ben has plumbed for the old hot dog as Josh Martin now tries to get it out the wing. And here we go, breakaway attempt. And Ben Painter is stonewalled by Aaron Taylor in another of a series of incredible saves as Coleman now tries to take it the other way, and Ben Painter intercepts and dumps it back in, and now Alex Murray will get the power play to reset. We've got about a minute of this penalty to JJ Pitchley left. Osmond now.
Taylor seems to be feeling the effects of his performance so far. Remained in the crouching position a little bit after that attempt by Ben Painter.
And I have seen Ben score goals from that position before, so he will be wondering at the moment, what do we have to do to get one past this guy. Ely Newman. James Warman plays it in, past Wild. Ely Newman will go chasing it, but Wild will retain possession and play it out. Sutton with it now. Sutton across to Forsyth. Forsyth shoots and it's gloved by Danny Milton.
I'm not sure if that's glove. That might have ended up in his jersey, that puck.
It's a bit difficult to tell sometimes from this range.
Just 14 seconds left of that JJ Pitchley power play from the Solent Devils. They've got the offensive face-off. Can they make it work for them this time?
Incredibly, in that phase, Streatham actually looked more potent defensively while they're a man down than
Absolutely.
they did defensively. Wild dumps it down. Osman will circle it. Osman gets it back to Cloutman, who's fans on it, and now Beasley is away. Beasley is closed out, however, and Ryan
The hand
Watt,
is up.
and a hooking call against Ryan Sutton.
Ziggy Beasley did really well to draw that. He really shielded the puck, put his body between him and Sutton, and just drew the hooking penalty out.
Well, everyone knows in this league this year, if you give Ziggy Beasley that kind of space on the puck, he's going to make you pay for it.
He will.
So, 2 minutes hooking to Ryan Sutton. JJ Pitchley's penalty is over. Can Streatham finally get themselves on the board here? Beasley, Brittle, Watt, Ely Newman and Jared Lane. Ben Painter has put the big guns out. Ely Newman from the point. It skings off of Ziggy Beasley in front and it ends up being cleared. Now Ely Newman will skate it through. He loses possession. Beasley again loses possession at the blue line. Hits. Dumps it in.
Pitched him really well there to keep hold of the puck and dump it out.
Now Ryan Watt will reset the play. Lane. Brittle. Lane. Behind the net. Alex Murray there with beautiful poke check
Top work from Alex Murray.
Puck intercepted at the blue line, and now Ryan Watt in on net. Ryan Watt trying to get something there, but again is closed out by the Solent defense. Beasley. Beasley has got a man in support. And Ben Ely Newman with a bullet from the point gets the Redhawks on the board.
Absolute smashing one-timer from Ben Ely Newman. I don't think Taylor even saw it coming.
Ziggy Beasley and Ryan Watt do all the hard work, cycle it up, get it to Ben Ely Newman. That traffic on the front of the net and Aaron Taylor's shutout is broken.
It is, and it's been Ziggy Beasley and Ryan Watt for the past few games for Streatham, combining to find the others in space. They're drawing the defenders to them, opening the space up. And when the puck goes back to Ben Ely Newman, pardon me, the shot is there for him, goes through the traffic, Taylor doesn't see it, Streatham are on the board.
And if he was on the sidelines right now, Mark White from the Dorking Wanderers would probably be yelling, next goal, next goal. And I'm certain that that's the plan that Ben Painter is going to be working towards. As Josh Martin.
We said it enough during the Buffalo against Phoenix game. 2-0 is a very, very dangerous lead.
Yeah, and now Solent will push forward and Peacock.
Oh my days! The Solent Devils are back!
Solent Devils answer back almost immediately. Peacock gets gets the puck into the zone, and then the rebound comes out, and it's fired in by, I believe, Ryan Sutton, or is it Steve Osman?
Steve Osman.
Steve Osman.
Again, I think we've missed the replay on our screen here. We're getting a bit carried away. But that is how you respond to conceding on the power play from the Solent Devils, straight up the other end. And it could have been any one of the chances when they picked up the puck in that offensive zone, shifted it off to the left, and as the rebound came out, Steve Osman made no mistake.
Yeah. Well, it's all shock and awe here as Streatham go 3-1 down in this playoff semi-final. Skokan now, his opportunity, takes a bounce now. Kane Russell. Kane Russell. However, it goes loose in front and it's fired high and wide. Now Skokan play it in, but Murray will collect it as it's played up. So it's just been confirmed over the PA, Steve Osman with the goal. So we just heard the announcement of the assists on the Solent goal. Mason Wild and Ryan Sutton. Puck's played in. Warman pinching down from the point, and there's a hit by Miles, and he goes down in the corner. Miles trying to win a puck battle here.
Certainly some rose-tinted cheers from the crowd there.
I think they were looking as the puck dings off of Taylor's head, and Miles with a shove in front of net on Forsyth, and I think he's going to find himself heading to the box. Oh no, it wasn't Forsyth,
on Murray.
it was a shove on Murray. Well, there is a history between Brandon Miles and the Murray brothers.
I think there's a history between Brandon Miles and everyone.
There is, really. Yeah. Miles heads to the box. And this is what I talked about earlier. I said about Streatham getting themselves into penalty trouble.
In fairness, it was needless from Miles.
That was needless.
And he's now put his team on the back foot. Although, admittedly, the last power play Solent had, Streatham looked the better side and nearly grabbed a shorty.
But you can't rely. Streatham have conceded on the penalty kill this season.
Yeah, 91.09% on the kill, but that's obviously not 100.
I mean, no. They have conceded roughly around about 8 or 9 times on the penalty kill. So we will see. Steve Osman out there ready to take the face off against Ben Ely Newman.
Alex Murray looks a little physically shook after that confrontation. So wonder what he would normally be out on the penalty power play line.
Power play one. One behind the net. Sutton. Chance in front there for the Devils goes begging. Now Jared Lane will look to play it up. He connects it to Ben Ely Newman. Ely Newman shoots, fires high and wide. Lane into the corner. Sutton now. Osman. Wild. Leaves it for Osman.
Such a consistent player, Mason Wild. He really just does the basic things very well.
Left in open ice for Osman to collect. He will turn and skate it in. Ryan Sutton now across the blue line. Sutton winds up, but it takes a deflection and it's back out. Wild now. Cloutman. Wild. Cloutman. Devils get set up. Puck's put on net, but Danny Milton has it scouted, gets the glove down and covers it up. That'll cue for Streatham to put the second PK unit out as Painter, Martin, Waller and Toombs make their way to the ice.
This is now their first power play line that's out for Solent for the final 43 seconds of this power play.
Yeah, Alex Murray has returned to the ice. He's up at the point there with Cole.
Alex Cole's scored a few from there in recent games.
We'll look to do the same here again as Ben Painter now tries to get it clear. Martin carries the puck carrier. Played out. Now Pitts. No, Murray.
When he gets back there, Murray, he's like the conductor, and he just makes his orchestra do exactly what he wants them to do from behind their own goal.
He's a very good power play quarterback as the chance comes in from Alex Cole. Sorry, that's not Alex. Oh, that was Alex Cole. Pass comes in from Alex Cole, but Danny Milton has it covered. 13 seconds left in the penalty to Brandon Miles. He's already up and raring to go.
I'm sure Alex Murray will have an eye in the back of his head from there.
Definitely will not want the escape from the box breakaway. Streatham return to full strength. Cole low with it in the corner, dumps it in. Pitts plays it up the half boards. He's got Coleman there. Pitts to Coleman. Coleman puts it on net, but it's padded wide. Wild dumps it in for Kane Russell. Russell gets tangled up as Sam Waller gets an arm around. And Preston Toombs will try to come away with it, and Danny Milton
sprawling out there to get the puck, Danny Milton.
Well, I think he realised if he just left it, I think if Kane Russell got loose, he was going to be in trouble.
I mean, looking like it could be a little bit of a fly in the ointment of Streatham season so far. Won every competition they've been in, and of course qualified for the national final at Coventry, where they'll take on the Billingham Stars.
It's not over yet, there's still 22 minutes to play.
But of course, similar to the Guildford Phoenix earlier, they got here by a one-game tie, unable to get ice at MK, and put 14 past them.
Yep. Puck is dumped down. Skokan puts it on net. Taylor will play it, leave it for Wild. Puck comes around. Brittle. It's again dinged around. Lane. Beasley. Beasley battles for it in the corner. Half balls now. Warman's in there along with Sutton. Beasley though tries to come out with it, but now Peacock's off and running. Peacock shoots. It's saved by Danny Milton, and we will have another face-off in the Streatham end. As our first rendition of Sweet Caroline booms around Ali Pally.
Surely just any sport takes that song as their own now.
Yeah. We'll dump it around. We've got 1 minute left in the second period here.
Lovely touch from Coleman between the legs there.
Yeah.
And he's on it again.
Pitts now shoots, and it's padded away.
Jordan Gregory with the hit on Mark Pitts sent him flying after that shot.
Now Brandon Miles dings one off of, that was off the chest protector, I think, of Aaron Taylor.
The holding the puck call is a very, very difficult one, isn't it? Because it almost seemed Alex Murray did the same there, who directed the puck as he threw it down.
Yeah. It's played in.
Puck is benched.
So 9 seconds on the clock. Face off in the Solent zone. Can the Red Hawks do something with this here? Pitts versus Beasley. It goes to the corner, and puck will be dumped round by, and now Coleman looks to get a breakaway, and he shoots at the buzzer.
Wow.
But Danny Milton saves it. And
Milton wanted to make sure there he come out and made himself very, very big.
Yeah. And that will see the period end. That will see the score on the period end at Solent 3, Streatham 1.
You know, I'm not sure that this is what anybody expected to see.
No, I do not. But when you consider that Streatham took the season series 4-0 over the Devils.
With a couple of shutouts at home as well.
Yeah, with a couple of shutouts as well. But that's the thing about these weekends. Every season, the Devils just seem to have one game against Streatham, and at the moment, it looks like that one game is this game.
Is this one. But I'm sure what Paints will be saying is that 20 minutes is a very long time, and 2 goals is not many goals. So there's more than enough chance of Streatham getting back into this game.
The trouble is right now for Streatham is it's finding those opportunities. Solent have done a masterful job of closing down Ziggy Beasley, who has been the most dangerous goal threat for Streatham all season long. He has not once been able to deploy the patented snapshot that he's been using this season from those hash marks.
Yeah, I think it seems to be that obviously having 2 player coaches, Alex Murray seems to have really done his homework, which is difficult to do in this league. There's not a lot of game tape available.
He's played against us enough times over the last 2 seasons to know how we do what we do. But they're a well drilled side this year. Solent. They've got a longer bench than I seem to recall them normally having when they play us.
Yeah, they've made really good use this year of the Solent Junior Devils, where they've had the likes of Charlie Wedge and Rory Martin-Edwards coming up. And sort of filling out their roster. And Charlie's actually had a really, really good season with the Devils.
Charlie's another one of those names that I've heard from Devils fans is one to look out for on the up. So right now they're all going to feel very, very confident. Alex Murray is currently having a discussion with Mark Duffy and the kit manager.
Yeah, see, that's really interesting that Murray hasn't gone back to the change rooms with everybody else.
Well, at the moment, the game plan's working at the moment, so
there's nothing really that needs saying.
Really to change. So I guess we will see heading into the final third here. Can Streatham find a way back, or will Solent, considering they're back to the worst lead in hockey, 2 goals, will they shut it down, or will they try and get that insurance marker? We will find out when we return. Well, everybody, we're back for the third and final period. Well, possibly third and final period, depending on how things go over the next 20 minutes of this game. Will the second semi-final of the finals weekend curse strike again and see the Streatham Redhawks reverse a 3-1 deficit currently to the Solent Devils, who have, well, they are the away team, so I don't know whether you could say so far they've played a perfect road game.
Well, I mean, technically, yes, they are the away team, obviously both are, but as we do keep saying, the size of this ice is so much more similar to Solent's than it is to Streatham, that it could be having that little edge for the Solent Devils.
It is really interesting to note that, considering, obviously, as we've said multiple times, Solent have lost every single encounter they've had with Streatham this year. But the thing about these one-game formats is this: all you need is that one perfect game. And every season for the last few years, Streatham have had that one perfect game that they play against Streatham and they win. It's today that perfect game we're about to find out. The puck is dropped and we are away.
We are off in the third.
Beasley to Brittle. Watt up the middle. Watt will try and get the shot away, but is closed out by Murray. Now Brittle at the half boards. Back to the point to Toombs.
I don't think Taylor even saw that.
No. I think that was a reaction on instinct. Coleman now fires, padded to the corner by Danny Milton. Alex Murray will play it back in. And Preston Toombs a little bit wrong-footed there. Collected by Beasley. Beasley plays it out to the wall. Miles makes contact with it on the way through, and as it's played back in, it makes contact with one of our linesmen.
Yeah, I think Davis felt a little bit persecuted there. That was 2 or 3 that came straight at him.
Yeah. Waller played in, padded to the corner by Taylor. Miles now. Miles, but it's intercepted by Skokan. Fires it in, and it's wide.
Well, if anyone believes, this crowd certainly believe. The Streatham Redhawks fans making incredible noise in Ali Pally.
Well, that's the reason why our club motto is hashtag we bring the noise. Although at the moment, considering due to some technical glitches, Ben and I are having to do this, do the audio job here a bit freehand, and having a drum circle off to our left-hand side is making hearing each other a bit difficult.
Yeah, at least that won't be happening for the next game.
You never know. It is Haringey Huskies. They are known as the loudest team in NIHL too. Although I believe any Invicta Mustangs fans watching would counter that. Anyway, James Warman will ping the puck up as we are going to get an icing call against the Solent Devils. Benny Lehman will take the face-off against Alex Murray. Oh, no, sorry, not Alex Murray, that's Drew Campbell.
A small line change there for Solent.
Mark Pitts makes his way onto the ice. Ely Newman loses the face-off, and it's played round to Mark Pitts. Ely Newman tries to get the shot away, but can't get it off. Mark Pitts strips him of the puck. Pitts still with the puck. And it's played to the front of the net, and Taylor dings it to the corner. Puck back at the point now. Skokan fires it in, and it hits the plexi behind. Skokan really hasn't got his sights dialed, hasn't had his sights dialed in recent weeks, really.
I tell you, we've not seen a lot of JJ Pitchley so far in this game. He's not really had the effect on it that I'm sure they would have wanted.
No, but he again is, as Skokan fires one high and over that Taylor tried to glove, but just winged past him. As now Brittle plays it into Ely Newman. Ely Newman shoots, and it's deflected and shot blocked wide. Streatham now trying to force a break in. Skokan, who has been out there for a long time now, should probably be looking for a line change as Josh Martin will chase it now. Martin to JJ Pitchley.
Here he comes.
Pitchley loses the puck. Martin.
Very tight call.
Yeah, very tight offside call there. JJ Pitchley looking to do what he likes to do, which is wheel and deal a little bit with the puck.
Well, considering the job that Solent are doing on covering Ziggy Beasley, there's opportunities for other players to sort of make those plays and get themselves into the good positions.
At the moment, Solent seem to have all the danger men very, very well closed off. Streatham, they are doing a wonderful job of doing what Streatham normally do, which is closing up the lanes. Pitchley's currently offside, and the puck will be dumped in by Martin. Now Painter will go to the corner. He hits Cole, but the puck comes away to Jordan Gregory, who dumps it down into the corner. Cole goes to Pitt. Painter finds Martin in front. Martin Pitchley shoots. Pitchley scores!
There we go.
And here it comes. Puck comes out of the corner. A little bit of chaos in front of the net. Nobody knows where it is, and then JJ Pitchley just skates into the slot.
Let's see if Streatham can stop Solent biting back the way they did when they scored last time.
The question here is will Solent answer back immediately like they did last time? Streatham are going to have to make sure here that they have their defensive game keyed in so well to make sure that Solent don't immediately get another one like they did before.
Well, I'd prefer to see that not as a commentator's curse, but a little bit of a G up. Got JJ Pitchley going.
I'm going to give you an assist. I'm going to give you the assist on that one.
Yeah, a player, I've always been incredibly fond of him as a player. Yeah. He's a great wind-up merchant, but he's also a great player on the ice as well.
Beasley, puck is loose in front of the net, and Taylor didn't know where it was, but it's headed to the corner. Waller now at the blue line. Beasley goes for the tip-in, and Taylor gets the save, and it will be face-off in the Solent zone again. Streatham trying to, I think, to apply that chokehold I've talked about. They've got the Devils penned in at the moment. Can they convert here? That is the question. Get the answer soon. Beasley tries to take it to the net, straight off the face-off.
A lovely attempt at a chant coming from the Streatham fans to the tune of Seven Nation Army as well.
is interesting with fan bases. I tried to get Your Defence is Terrified, Ziggy's on Fire going earlier this year. To very little success, unfortunately. Waller now with a shot from the point. Watt takes it into the corner, but it is held in. Watt's going to hold it against the boards here. He's got Perella, Fox and Peacock there with him. Wild, but Wild tried to stop Brittle getting to the puck, but Brittle's come up with it. Watt looking for support at the point. Waller winds up, shoots. Puck comes off Ziggy Beasley, but it flies wide. And
3 on 2 here.
Osman tries to get it to net, shot on net, saved by Danny Milton. Oh, puck is loose with follow-up attempt there for the Devils. And now Toombs leaves it to Beasley. Beasley to Waller. Waller will skate it in. He'll probably opt to shoot, but no. Waller takes it down to behind the goal line. Waller gets it across ice to Miles. And Miles now will try for the setup. Miles wings it around. Waller now collects in the neutral zone. Streatham just wave after wave here, breaking on the Solent net. Skokan.
But they've certainly not been caught in sucker time this time as they were before.
No, Lane now tries to skate it in. Lane gets it across the blue line. He's forced out to the boards. Takes a hit there from Cloutman. Puck back to the blue line. Skokan dumps it in. Miles. Lane. Back to the blue line.
Ooh, little deflection. Great pad save by Taylor.
Miles with it, puts it back on the net. And that was Warman. Warman with a huge hit at the boards there on Forsyth.
A little shake all around the glass when he landed that one.
Yeah. As I once tried to get going after one of Warman's hits went viral online, I tried to get the he's a war man machine going, and Joe Scott immediately shut me down and told me to stop trying to make fetch happen.
You can't sit with us.
Okay. Sorry, that's Gregory. Oh, Gregory just mistimes it. It's played down now for Harvey Briggs. Briggs to Painter in front. Briggs now. Briggs back to the point for Gregory. Briggs at the half board. Briggs will shoot. Deflects off of Ben. Painter in front. Briggs now in a board battle. Painter and Pitts. Painter comes away with it. Gets it to Josh Martin. Martin tries to find Briggs. The puck is loose around the net. Streatham, I think, trying to go for any kind of route they can to get on the net and try and get that equaliser right now. Puck is put towards the net, but Solent will clear it, but it's only as far as the blue line. Puck will travel the length of the ice, however, and that will allow both teams to get some fresh legs on. Painter still. Painter.
Streatham really seems to have settled down now into their routines.
Waller. It's played back, collected by Preston Toombs, who dings it around. Ryan Watt. Intercepted by Murray. Murray will play it in. Toombs. Brittle to Beasley. Watt. That's going to be offside, I think. We're going to have a face-off in the Solent zone. I'm not too sure what that was. I thought Ryan Watt was being called for offside because he wasn't touching the puck for
yeah, very strange one.
Beasley lines up for the face-off against Osman. And face-off is called back. Mr. McCracken is not happy with it. Now again, Beasley wins the face-off this time, and it's back to Waller. Waller sends it in. Beasley stops it dead in the slot, but can't get the turn and fire. And the Devils will now break back the other way. Ryan Sutton on it. Ryan Sutton tries to go up the centre lane, but can't find it there. And now Ziggy Beasley going up the middle. Beasley fires and it's deflected to the corner.
Deflection on that has sent Taylor in completely the wrong direction.
And there, Waller with a hit at centre ice, stopping. I think that was Sutton, Ryan Sutton getting away with the puck. Callum Perella-Fox and Ziggy Beasley will go into the corner for a board battle, and the puck will come away loose and collected by Mason Wild, who will play it out, but it's only as far as Brandon Miles. Played back to Jared Lane, who is making a guest appearance at the back end, while James Warman is pinched up rather high.
Chance here.
Turnover almost sees Forsyth and Hutchison generate an opportunity, but they are closed out by the Streatham defence, and now Warman again playing up in the forward.
The way
goal.
this third period has started and with Streatham pulling that goal back, it's really difficult to actually see Solent getting themselves back on top in this game. Yeah, I'm sure he's very much looking forward to the next game coming up. Is Haringey Huskies taking on the Peterborough Phantoms. Oh, Taylor. I think it was Ely Newman. Murray wants action. Oh, I think Solomon just let it slide. I was just with that, Aaron Taylor losing the puck just in the middle of his feet in front of the goal. Really do appear to be kicking in now.
Is that a sign there that the nerves are beginning to settle in here for the Devils? Can they hang on? Josh Martin dumps it in. JJ Pitchley will give chase. Pitchley, Martin collects, but he's got Peacock in attendance with him, and there's a big hit by Callum Perella-Fox on Pitchley into the corner. But Streatham have come up with the puck. Back to Ben Painter. Painter to Skokan. Skokan fires. Puck's loose in front. And Peacock will get it clear.
Lovely work by
Sutton
Peacock.
in support. Sutton, it's a 2-on-1 here. Sutton will opt to shoot. Bad save by Danny Milton. And I have to take a breather.
Ice hockey, bloody hell, I think was there.
Oxygen to the commentary box, please. Wedge forces a turnover. D's Forsyth with the puck. He will try to play it to Wedge, but Streatham will come out with the puck. Be played out. attempt there to release Ziggy Beasley, but Wedge will return it. Mormon, Beasley finds Watt.
That's fantastic.
Watt 1-on-2, but he's got Brittle in support. Watt takes it to the net. Ryan Watt tries to skate it across the front of Aaron Taylor, but Taylor gets the pad in the way and gets it to the corner. Watt, though, still has it. Dumped in. Watt will collect it in the corner, but it is poked free and clear.
That's a great poke check by Scott Cooper.
That was a very, very well-timed poke check by Scott Peacock. Now Toombs plays it up. Watt makes sure there's contact with it, so there's no icing call. Beasley will chase it in, but
into the final 10 minutes now. 8:24 on the clock.
Turnover here, though, by Preston Toombs. And
we're going to have a tripping call here. No.
I can't believe Coleman hasn't drawn a tripping penalty there. It's Watt now to Brittle. Brittle backhands. It's padded away by Taylor. Toombs. Mark Pitts. Cole.
It's kind of adding to the tension of this third period that Yuri is prepared to let a lot go.
You want that? I mean, you want that from your officials sometimes. You don't want something like this close to be decided by the asterisk of fans saying, yes, but that's power play.
Yes, of course, yeah.
Jared Lane. And Ely Newman.
Ooh, another tight offside call. Miles is getting in there quite early.
Ely Newman can't get it to the net, but Miles will collect it. Streatham attempting kind of a backhand chance in front of the net there, but not really able to get it there, and that will be an icing call against the Devils.
And there seems to be contact in the neutral zone there on the way out.
Brandon Miles is not happy about something there. See Ben Painter at the moment yelling instructions from the bench. Dropped, but Solent will come up with the puck. Alex Murray will play it out. Now Kane Russell, the man very responsible for Solent's lead in this game, has another chance on Danny Milton. Danny Milton this time manages to get down and get the puck covered.
From our position here, we had a great view on the angle that Kane Russell tried to take then as he come down the left into the circle and tried to snipe across Danny Milton into the far top corner. Fantastic angle from here.
Now, Osman and Painter in the circle here.
McCracken really isn't happy with these face-offs.
He's a stickler for procedure. Here's Mr. McCracken. I've learned from watching him lineman games. As Josh Martin now, Martin gets in and gloved by Taylor, and Solent did not like Martin going to the net.
I think Martin possibly could have stopped before he got that far.
Yeah.
But with under 7 minutes to go and a goal needed, you need every psychological edge you can get.
Right now it's about intimidation on Aaron Taylor. It's about making him realise, it's about getting in his head, getting as close as you can, and maybe drawing a penalty from getting that close to the netminder, because nobody likes their netminder to be interfered with. Waller tries to play it around, but Sutton will come out with it. It's 2-on-2 here. Peacock. And that's gloved by Danny Milton.
I mean, it's very difficult to predict what's going to happen in this last 6 minutes and 45 seconds of this game. But there still does not seem to be control from either side. It's so tight, so difficult to call.
It's shifted from what we saw at the opening phase, where Streatham they just had that chokehold on, but they've been forced into relinquishing that hold a little bit. Solent are still getting counter chances. Streatham, at the same time, it does look like, as Ryan Watt now tries to get the puck forward, Brittle into the corner with Forsyth. Pitts will come out with it, and he will look to get it up ice.
Fantastic stick work from Pitts.
Mark Pitts still with the puck.
Coleman's on his own. Oh, so close.
And Coleman could have very well easily put the game to bed. Ziggy Beasley now will break down the wing. Beasley tries to cut inside, but he's closed out by Cole.
Wow, it's a 3-on-1.
And this is bad news. Coleman, Russell, Coleman with the game on his stick. Saved by Danny Milton. Now Brittle will release Lane. Lane up the middle. Lane shoots, saved by Aaron Taylor.
Do not take your eyes off this, folks. What an incredible game.
And that very well could be the deciding moment in this game now as Mark Pitts and Jordan Gregory in a foot race to the corner. Gregory comes out with it and gets it to Beasley. Beasley looking for the option. He gets it to that wing to Jared Lane. Lane now in a 1-on-2, leaves it up for Miles. Miles shoots, it's come loose, and Jared Lane just
fantastic recovery from Aaron Taylor.
And Jared Lane having a bit of physicality in the corner with his checker as Lane back to Skokan. Skokan puts it on net, but it's deflected in front. Miles tries to go for it, but it's poke checked away. Devils now return. Peacock saved by Danny Miller. Sorry, I see a number and a 1 and I'm getting Ryan Sutton Peacock confused.
He didn't really get enough on that one, Peacock, as he went through 1-on-1 with Danny Milton.
Now Sutton, he's 1-on-1, fires it, saved by Danny Milton. Milton will play it out. Miles will try and get it up, but it's closed down by the Devils.
Oh, Solovov takes one in the head.
Yep, our referee, Mr. Yuri Solovov, takes a puck to the head. Ely Newman fires, padded wide. James Warman follows it in, and it's loose. Ely Newman, sorry, not Ely Newman. Anyway, back to the play. It's dumped down. We have 4 minutes to go in this game, if the clock is correct. Warman to Painter. Dumps it in. Pitchley will give chase. Pitchley with a huge hit, and that's going to be charging on JJ Pitchley, or even a hit. Oh no, it's an elbow.
Elbows. Could be a 5.
And that with 3 minutes to go, that could actually seal this game for the Solent Devils.
Well, it'll only be a 2 as he's gone into the box, of course, with only 3:58 remaining. But the best penalty kill team in the league against one of the best power play sides in the league with 3:58 to go. Man, what a game.
So JJ Pitchley will sit 2 minutes for elbowing. That means we will have one, potentially, so long as Streatham don't take another penalty, that and Solent don't convert, it will be 1 minute 58 left of even-handed play. Puck is back to the point. Mason Wild will put the puck in, but it's deflected and gone wide. Forsyth goes down and loses an edge in the corner. Osman gets it back to Forsyth. Osman now. Osman being challenged by Waller and Gregory. Gregory will come away with the puck.
Forsyth and Beasley having a little bit in the middle there.
Play to the middle, and now Waller will skate it up ice and dump it in. Fires on net. Tests Aaron Taylor, who gloves it and plays it. Jared Lane goes for the forecheck, but it's played out. Coleman now. Coleman takes it into the corner. Warman with a hit that could have been boarding if that had landed differently.
Yeah, Coleman took it quite well, stayed on his feet.
Murray. Coleman. Warman again, looks for the big hit.
Yeah. Coleman's not happy with the physical attention that he's getting towards the end of this period.
Right now it's probably one of the best ways to try and take him out of the game. Now it's played up ice. It's
high stick there, unfortunately.
High stick by Jared Lane.
You know, he brought it down very well, but listen to what I said. He brought it down. The puck was above the height of his head. There can be no complaints whatsoever.
Yeah. That will see a face-off just outside of the Solent zone. face-off won by the Devils. And now Coleman fires just over the shoulder of Danny Milton, and Mr. Davies gets in the way of Josh Martin trying to break on the return. And calls for a trip there against Mark Pitts, but none given. Now Josh Martin. Martin plays it into the corner. Martin looks for Ben Painter. He's got Waller in support there. Painter back to Waller. Waller looks to put it onto the net, but can't. Martin, there are 7 seconds left in the penalty to JJ Pitchley. Ben Painter puts it on the net himself, and it's played down the ice.
So they come back to full strength with an offensive face-off.
JJ Pitchley will return the ice, and he heads to the bench, and a timeout has been called. Timeout's been called by Streatham.
Surely not.
I would wager we're about to see Danny Milton leave the cage
with 1:55 remaining. That's a big call if that is the case.
Well, I once saw in an OHL game, 10 minutes into the third period, a London Knights team that was down 2-0, that had thrown everything at the Owen Sound attack, pull their netminder with 10 minutes remaining on a power play.
Astonishing. But there's nothing really that adds to the drama more than having an empty net. When it's this tight, it's a small goal, it's a small puck. If you're going to get it in from one end to the other, it's almost a fluke if you get it in, unless you sort of have got a player who's quite adept at that.
Milton heads back to the net, so
I think we've got at least 50 seconds before we see him heading to the bench.
Yeah. How much can Streatham convert this? Ryan Watt and Benny Newman are at the point. Ben Painter has gone all in with his offense here. Back to the point. Ryan Watt winds up. Shot deflected. Back down to the corner. Ely Newman fires. It's deflected to the corner again. Osmond now. And now Danny Milton has been pulled. Streatham are making sure that they've got possession before they do anything with this.
Yeah.
Lane back to Ely Newman.
The camera is staying on the Solent goal. The Streatham goal is now empty.
And it's gloved by Taylor.
Taylor has the puck in hand. We have a face-off in the Solent Devils defensive zone. The Streatham net is empty. 1:29 on the clock in the third. McCracken just checking the net is all in place with Danny Milton no longer in it.
We've got Jared Lane, Ben Painter, Ziggy Beasley, Luke Brittle, Ben Ely Newman and Ryan Watt. It is all forwards out there for Streatham right now.
The drum of the Streatham Redhawks fans adding to the tension.
Ryan Watt collects the clearance in his glove, plays it down. 1:24 left. Oh no, sorry. Yes. Ben Ely Newman, Ryan Watt, played into the centre to Beasley, but he gets it out to the wing. Brittle dumps it round. Brittle will keep it in. Brittle, and now
there's a chance. It's a big chance for Solent.
Now Coleman's on his own. Puts puck on his game. And Coleman will net the empty netter to seal it for the Solent Devils. Solent Devils 4, Streatham Redhawks 2.
Unbelievable scenes at Alexandra Palace as the poke check in the defensive zone sets Liam Coleman on the way to the empty net. And the grand slam for the Streatham Redhawks looks to be out of the window.
Streatham let themselves be played further and further and further over towards those boards, ran out of room, ran out of road, and then that just allowed Solent to force the turnover. And we saw there the desperation of, I think, one Streatham player throwing a stick in the direction of the puck to try and stop it going in the net. But unfortunately, that is game over.
But, I mean, we say this, we have excitement. There is still 56 seconds remaining.
And I believe
there is still 56 seconds remaining. We have seen in the last 2 years games come down to the final shot of the puck as to whether who's going to make that final on the Sunday.
Timeout has been called by Solent here, I think, just to try and get some last minute energy into the boys. I think based on looking at the clock, we've only got 17 seconds left.
I think just confirmed there that it was Ryan Sutton assisting Liam Coleman for the 4th goal for the Solent Devils.
Beasley wins the face-off. It's back to Ryan Watt. Will we see Danny Milton pulled again with 56 seconds left? He appears to be staying put. Waller plays it across. Skokan turns and fires. Loose puck in front. And Jared Lane getting into it here. He did not appreciate taking a tumble in front of the net there. Back to the point to Watt. Watt fires. It's loose in front.
High sticks.
And Taylor and Lane and some of the Solent defenders here getting into it in front of the net as well.
Alex Cole and Jared Lane were battling so hard for positioning there. It was really great to see them see the refs just let them get on with it.
So we have 28 seconds left on the clock here. Ben Painter has pulled Danny Milton again. Empty cage at the Streatham end. Beasley gets tied up off the face-off. It's played down into the corner. Solent have the possession here. Ely Newman plays it down, tries to play it down to the corner. Ely Newman still with it. Ely Newman. Painter gets tied up. Solent now just trying to pin that puck against the board.
Into the final 10 seconds.
Goes for an attempt.
The net is empty again.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And for the second time today, the number 1 seed has been unseated and eliminated. The Streatham Redhawks lose 4-2 to the Solent Devils, who have come in to Ali Pali and played what I'm going to call an absolutely perfect road game on neutral ice.
Well, they're going to... You can't really argue that the Devils deserving the win. They worked extremely hard for it. As far as the Redhawks are going, we're talking about the Grand Slam, everything that's there. They've won 3 trophies already. The one I think that Ben Painter really wants is at the end of April in Coventry. That's the one he hasn't got. That's the one he wants. Everyone wants to win the playoffs. As the team that finished top of the league, you should possibly even expect to progress in the playoffs. But when you're at the top of the league, when you've dominated like Streatham have for the past few years, you are there to be shot out. And Solent have fired a shot out of a South Coast cannon from the HMS Victory in the shipyard at Gun Wharf, and it's taken the Redhawks out.
Yeah, Ben Painter will most definitely have his eyes on a few weeks from now in Coventry as the big prize. No shame in a season where you've won 3 trophies already. Would have been nice, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to let my Streatham fan out a little bit here. Would have been nice to get the Grand Slam, obviously, but that very much hinged dependently on winning in Coventry.
It would have been an incredible achievement, and there's no two ways about that. Any fan of any other club could put their hands up and say, what an achievement. But even without the Grand Slam, league champions by quite a margin, Britain Cup champions, undefeated, all games won in that mini-league series. And then the Southern Cup champions again, beating Slough in what was possibly one of the best 2-legged games in this country at any level. So no real complaints, I think, for Streatham's season. But when you come to these sort of showpiece events, it's so much nicer to win than it is to lose.
But I think last year, when me and Joe were on comms for that final, I think we said something along the lines of Alex Murray must wonder what does he have to do to get one over on Streatham. I would venture one of Alex Murray's obsessions for the last few seasons has been, how do I get one over on this club from South London? And he's finally done that today. In an absolute, as I said, like, they played a sublime game. They shifted the momentum in their direction whenever they needed to. Streatham looked like they were going to get right back into it. They got that third goal, and it was everything just seemed to be tilted their way from there. They did the one thing to Streatham that Streatham have done to other teams all season. Those lanes were closed off. Streatham couldn't get the decent chances that they've normally been able to bury. I mean, case in point, Ziggy Beasley was, aside from getting an assist on one goal, was
ineffective,
a non-factor today, really. Somehow they cracked the code to get more than 1 or 2 goals past Danny Milton, which everybody else has struggled to do this year. Kane Russell put in what I'm going to say is the man of the match performance for the Devils.
Yeah, I think between Kane Russell or possibly Aaron Taylor is where the Bears will be heading for Solent.
Yeah.
For Streatham, very difficult to say. As you said, they were virtually marked out of the game. Ziggy Beasley ineffective. JJ Pitchley largely ineffective apart from his well-taken goal.
But it comes down to, like what I said, every season for the last few years, Solent and Streatham have gone toe-to-toe for championships. And every single season, Streatham will win most of those games. But there will be 1, maybe 2, where Solent, off the back of their netminder standing on his head, and everything including the kitchen sink and the kitchen sink of the house next door being thrown at him, and they somehow come away with the win. And this season, Streatham won the 4 league games, and I think tonight was, well, obviously tonight was that one game, because that's all Solent needed was that one game, and they finally got it.
You can imagine those 4 league games keeping Alex Murray awake at night, as you say, thinking of how do I get one over this team.
Yeah.
And congratulations to the Solent Devils for making the final.
Yeah.
They will face either Chelmsford or Slough Jets. We'll find out who a little bit later on tonight, but we'll get the man of the match.
Preston Toombs picks up the man of the match for Streatham.
A challenge for Ben Painter now before the Coventry weekend, especially with the young players, Toombs, Briggs, keep their heads up.
As Preston Toombs is a very solid young developing defenceman. Got a bright future ahead of him. Hopefully we don't end up losing him the way we've lost several of our other young developing defencemen we've had over the last few seasons. And now the Redhawks will take the lap of honour.
It must be quite a different experience from last year calling your team winning the playoffs.
I mean,
going out in the semi-final. I'm not trying to bring tears out of you for entertainment value, but
you can't win them all. You know what? If it, I would gladly, hopefully, happily take a win next weekend. Not next weekend, 2 weeks from now in Coventry.
I think it was Kane Russell, incidentally, that took the man of the match for Solent.
And we will see the Solent Devils tomorrow. And no doubt right now our good friend Joe Scotts is doing backflips wherever he is.
I would pay good money to see Joe Scotts do backflips.
I would as well. As Ryan Watt is going to be the last off.
Well, this virtually capacity crowd thoroughly enjoyed that game. And the Solent fans showing their appreciation.
We've had 2 incredible games so far. 2 very close, very, very well thought games.
Yeah, you can see the passion, the excitement, and for Drew Campbell, he will draw a close to his career in an NIHL 1 South playoff final, as will Scott Cooper. Fantastic stuff for those boys.
No Guard of Honour today. The Guard of Honour will happen tomorrow.
Well, I believe we have a tiny little break now.
Yes, we do.
And so we will see you about 5 o'clock, I believe.
Yes. So we'll see you all, everyone, in an hour when it will be the Haringey Huskies and the Peterborough Phantoms too.
Indeed. If you do want to see a little pre-match chat with Nathan Pollard from the Peterborough Phantoms, head on to the Zero Pucks Given YouTube channel and you can find that there. But we will see you shortly.